folks, it's the Unknown Resistor with another episode of Here's the Issue. This episode is essential, so I'm asking all of you to watch the entirety of this video. Reuters today released a story titled Exclusive. 2 election workers break silence after enduring Trump backers' threats. I'm putting a link to this story in the description. It's a must-read. The story is about 2 Georgia election workers, Ruby Freeman, a 62-year-old grandmother, and her daughter, Wandrea Boss. Both were accused of election fraud during the 2020 election by the Trump folks. Both, black by the way, worked on the vote count in Fulton County, Georgia, which part of Atlanta sits in. Keep in mind, too, Fulton County is predominantly black. Now, following the election, Trump's allies falsely accused them of using a briefcase of fake ballots to tamper with the election. Soon after, their identities and personal information were revealed on the right-wing site Parler, and the Trump fanatics, of course, went to work. The next thing you know, they are receiving death threats and had to flee their home of 20 years. This grandmother would receive phone calls threatening her hanging, and people were urging fellow Parler users to go hunt them down. Wandrea's 14-year-old son began receiving threatening calls on his cell phone. One call said, "Be glad it's 2020 and not 1920. You would be hanging along with your mother." The maddening part is that Reuters found that no one from the state has investigated this. Not the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, not even local Cobb County authorities, which is 62% white, by the way. Now, while none of these people threatening them were ever investigated, they were investigated by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the FBI for election fraud following pressure from Trump's DOJ. How bad was it? Besides the several hundred phone calls of racial slurs and calls for lynching, they had folks show up at their house. Kanye West even had a guy show up on her doorstep offering to help if they signed a confession to commit election fraud. Now, following the January 6th insurrection, the FBI contacted them, letting them know one Capitol rioter had them on a list for execution, beginning a cycle of them moving from house to house for their own safety. Here's the issue. This is the MAGA agenda. Change the outcome of future elections through harassment of election officials, poll workers, and install secretaries of state that will overturn the election if it doesn't go their way. This isn't just Jim Crow 2.0, this is MAGA 2.0. So, what's my message to you today? Our democracy is under attack. What are you going to do about it? I'm the Unknown Resistor.
Stand for Better is responsible for the content of this advertising.